Hi, welcome back to Art by Brooke. Happy Valentine's Day. I thought today was a perfect day to do another pink vase paint pour. I am using the vase that I actually recently cleaned off in one of my videos, so if you're interested in how to get the paint off of your vase if you don't really like the pour, go ahead and check that video out. It'll be linked in the description below. Today I'm using one of my favorite colors, Liquitex Basics Rose Pink, along with Deco Art Americana Decor Metallics. This one is Garnet. And Deco Art Dazzling Metallics in White Pearl. I also have my regular white and black mixed up, and I think I'm going to do a base of white on the vase first. I found that that makes the pour work a little bit better because as it pours down the sides, it doesn't kind of find its own individual little paths. It kind of slides across the whole thing. So I usually get a little bit more uniform of a pour that way. Okay, let's start by layering the paint in a cup. So I want most of this to be pink, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure that most of the layers have a good amount of that. I'm going to do tiny bits of black in between because I want some definition. Sometimes these vase pours, because they're moving down the sides, you don't get much definition. So I like to add a darker color in when I'm doing some more muted colors. I think I'll do that pearl in between. I really don't need a lot of paint in this because I'm doing that base layer underneath. So I really only need to do like maybe 2 layers of each color. And whatever color I end on is actually going to be the first color that gets poured. So I'm doing a little bit more of that pink just so I don't waste some of my other colors. And then I'll just top it off with a little white. So let's set that aside while I do the white base coat on the vase. So my goal with this is to just make sure that everything is covered so that later the paint will slide off easier. This is a good way to keep from wasting some of your nicer colors. Okay, so now that is fully covered and looks great. So I think it's time to pour our tree ring pour cup with all of our layered colors in it. So this is looking so cool. I think possibly because I paused and in between two different tree ring pours, I think that might be why we're getting some of these ridges, possibly the separation of the two different layers of paint. I'm not certain. It could also be that maybe the white underneath was starting to dry a little bit, so it's causing some drag, but I'm not quite sure exactly why that happens. I think it's a really cool effect. This is going to keep moving and changing a lot, but it has slowed down considerably, so what I think I'll do is turn it around so you can see the different sides while it's wet, and then move it off the canvas so I can go ahead and do the canvas pour as well. Actually, before I move this, I wanted to mention this side looks a lot like lace. Like there's white that's kind of stretching over other colors, and that's a really cool effect too. I'm also filming an angle from over top because the bottom of the vase, which is the top right here in this angle, actually looks so gorgeous when I'm doing the pour, but you usually don't get to see it if I'm filming from this angle. So I will probably put that out as a separate video in a little while. So if you're interested in that, keep an eye out for that. And also keep an eye out for the canvas pour as well. All right, now I'm going to try to carefully move this off. There's not really a perfect way to do it, but just remember that down here is going to keep changing as the paint keeps dripping. So it's okay if you smudge a little bit on the base. I also have a video on some of my tips and tricks for vase paint pours. If you're interested, I'll link that below as well. All right, and now the vase has been moved off the canvas, and I'm going to let it dry. It definitely takes several days at least to dry, and I try not to touch it at all for probably a week. The top part is thicker than the rest of it because the top part kind of rests at that balance point, and the rest of it kind of slides down the sides, so it thins out as it dries. So I have to make sure that the top part, which technically is actually the bottom of the vase, is fully dry before touching it. I don't want to ruin it. I will do an update video of this vase once it's dry so you can kind of see. It always changes. It's going to look different than what you see in this video. So I have to keep that in mind and not get my hopes up too high because it's not going to look exactly like this. But it almost always looks really cool. And again, if it doesn't, you can take the paint off and try again. So thank you so much for joining me on Valentine's Day to do this vase paint pour. If you enjoyed it, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up and commented down below. Do you have a favorite part? Which color in this mix is your favorite? And what color mix would you do? Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and click the bell so you get a notification every time I post a new video. Thank you so much to everyone who's kind of stuck around with me. I actually haven't done a paint pour in a very long time, and this was really fun. So I hope to do more coming up soon. I'm also doing more art journaling videos and zine videos. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to see from me too in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.